Many weeks later.
It's been less than a minute, Patrick, since the last episode.
It's
I'm
probably
still
weeks.
holding the same bottle of water. Guys, I was so hyped about this water bottle. My grandmother gave it to me. It's stainless steel. It can't break if I drop it. Do you have any idea how hype? This was like the best gift you could have possibly given me.
For your brother's birthday?
Yeah, for Brennan's birthday.
Oh, Bren.
So, last time, basically nothing happened.
The best thing.
The only important thing that happened was we were given a list and we have to pick up some paint and plywood and other art supplies. And to do that, we have to go into the art room.
It's
So
felt like weeks. It's how hype I am.
let it begin.
Too hype. Too
I
much hype.
carefully push open the fearless door and peek in. Oh, looking at this room puts a smile on my face, man. Looking at any room that's like especially important to RIN'S makes me happy. So does the word Adelia.
Okay.
It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I even in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corner, so at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody home? Something catches my eye, and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on the desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform, with a fork between her toes, a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me back even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner, very still, and I still somehow took her as part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me, mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. God damn it, what was that sound? God damn it. This is the worst possible timing.
Get hype.
Don't spoil anything while I'm gone, for God's sake, please, this time.
Okay. I don't know why I think it's gonna spoil stuff. I haven't finished this character's route, so most of my reactions are gonna be like, fresh. Let's describe this character, shall we? No arms. She has nubs because of a birth defect. She's eating food. She's kind of interesting, I guess. She's kind of psychotic, but you know what? Who isn't? Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. Does anyone else nice memes? This is the waifu, the great waifu we've been speaking of. The great standing on shoulders of giants here. We're trying to explain Mr. Robert DeWitt. I don't know if we have. We might have mentioned him. Okay. There was this man. Men like this only exist in legends. There's no real human beings like this. Mr. DeWitt. That is even his real name. He's a man who goes on Katawa Shoujo subreddit a lot. And by a lot, I mean he is 60% of the posts are him. And it's just him talking about Lily being best waifu NA. And, this man, I'm thinking, like, there's no harm in it. He's just on the Katawa Shoujo subreddit talking about the game. What's wrong with that? But he's broken it out. Our gaming has been taken over by this man.
You talking about Reddit?
I'm talking about Mr. DeWitt.
Ah, Mr. DeWitt. Oh, Mr. DeWitt. Yeah,
he is basically the end of the internet. I'm convinced.
I'm gonna put myself on Do Not Disturb on Skype because now Thomas Williams is talking, and that means that he's never going to shut up. So, sorry about that. My brother was stomping around and making noise. I just told him to quiet down, and hopefully he'll actually listen.
Probably not, but you know what, B?
Anyways, on with Rin. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Hello. The girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to pick up some supplies from here, for some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there'd be someone here. There isn't. That's why I came here too. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was expecting my observation was false. You're pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you? This girl's pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I just transferred in on
How
Monday.
cool does he think he is, though?
I'm Rin. Chizuka Rin. Rin Chizuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That's very nice. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. Well, I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is. She seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at her food. God damn it, Thomas. Now he's messaging me through Steam instead. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day. What word would you use, Len? There's no word for meal that you eat after lunch but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what it used to say. I don't think you are supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me. So, Nakai, what brings you to this place? Shut the hell up, Thomas! Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, the school. From the outside you look fine. Is your problem inside? I come to a full stop, opening my mouth, but not getting a word out. I can guess. I'm good at guessing. Better than most people. And cut me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue. Again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition. Or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overtly contemplative look on her face. She puts her forks between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side. I don't think it's anything in your head, and something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less deliciousness. The problem must be in your pants. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement, and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I might have reeled back even physically as my eyes widen in revelation and astonishment. So I was right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still partially yeah. Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to apply something, I spit out the first thing I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia. I said it. More like blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me presses her lips together and lowers at me, looking very disappointed. How boring. Coming in the pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down. I forgive you. Just, I collect people, and a person with, that kind of problem would be really great. Collect people? People with different problems. Huh, so you just, go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away, but I keep thinking about what was said. My tackle.
I really want him to refer to it now always as his tackle.
Oh, at some point in this route, um, he saw comments that he is literally incapable of not looking at Rin's butt. It's my favorite. In fact, a lot of really interesting things happen in this route. You haven't gone through it all, have you? You've gone through like half the second act?
I haven't even got to second act.
It's maximum scrub over here.
I
Wow,
have.
this is going to be a learning experience for you, isn't it? We're going to get to go through this act together. This is my favorite act. This is my
I'll,
favorite route in the game.
I'll
Know that.
tell you when we reach the point that I'm at.
It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already or heard about it from someone else. Or didn't need to know about it like every other student here so far. Should I have told her as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisal. I have a very serious heart condition. So I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on?
Yes.
Walk into a club, like, what up, I got a potentially fatal heart condition.
How many? That's the second of our many crippled songs.
Oh yeah. Oh, 7 degrees of separation. How could I forget?
Oh yeah, the album. Remember our parody of the Jason Derulo song?
No.
No, you don't remember that one?
I think I don't want to hear a parody of a Jason Derulo song anytime soon, so I'm just gonna keep going.
It's a parody of Wiggle
Oh
named
yeah,
Cripple.
cripple, cripple, cripple. As if our disabilities would define us. What a disgusting thought.
Not who I am, but what it finds me.
Oh, sorry, disgusting thought.
That was a line from a movie, right? Or was that? Or am I just genius for thinking that?
Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. Oh god, I
I'm
think I almost made
surprised.
myself puke.
I thought that was a line. You okay?
Give me a sec, man. That was very. I got into it. I got into my fake retching. As I walked to the back of. Can we point out I almost made myself puke for the sake of quality control?
Okay.
As I walked to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. She's hideous! Her hair is a burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty, except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats. That's one thing I want to point out about this route. It's one of the few that doesn't have a character who's supposed to be attractive in some way. By one of the few, I mean the only one.
Yeah.
The
Even
only one.
Hanako, the burned victim.
Yeah, even Hanako, like, described as, this would probably be the perfect human being if not for the fact that half of her body's burned to a crisp.
And it's hideous. Like her. It's a leather. Half of her face is leather.
I spilled water on me.
God damn it.
Anyways, let's keep going.
Huh?
I'll just deal with being wet. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect the sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it within them like deep wells. This is the eyes, for the record. She moves her feet almost as deftly as normal people who use their arms. Weird. However, I can see how this sight could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it?
Oh. The person without legs is fine, but no arms?
No, that's unnatural and artificial.
Yeah, but those are actually unnatural and artificial. She
Oh,
has
so that's
fake
how it's gonna be.
legs. She doesn't have fake arms.
I keep searching the cabins and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable. Get used to silence on this road. So I try to force some conversation with this strange girl. So, do you always eat alone and this late? Or do you get the occasional visitor? Visitors. Maybe you are my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes eat with a certain person on the roof if she's not horsing around. Horsing? She likes to do sports. Oh.
Do a
That's all I can think
sport.
of to say.
Let
Both
me go
of
do a
us
sport
fall
real
silent
quick.
again. Pace. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forced the last bits of her meal to her mouth. I look down at my haul and double-check with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things now. That's very nice for you. Don't feel obliged to say. I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you're going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping. I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel that our relationship is, at this point, good enough to warrant this much. I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine. Then I'm Hisao. Then you are. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes with that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times, and I can't figure out why a pause like this just popped up between us out of nowhere. See you later, Hisao. There's something like a tiny smile there in her face. Maybe. There might be a smile there. Maybe. God damn it, go away, iTunes. God damn it, iTunes.
You just broke everything?
No, it's still working. I quickly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whisper to myself, what an intriguing person.
What a psychotic...
What a psychotic freak. From inside I hear a muffled, sing-song voice. I heard that. What is...
Oh, God.
Read your line.
Okay. What's she here?
A jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite the completely empty hallway. Somehow she had gone into jumping distance of me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's snotty fear about a global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that part aside. Shizune is standing slightly behind me. She looks aloof as if she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited.
No, wait, more importantly, who's in there? There's no club meetings today.
She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway. What are you doing here?
You took literally 5 minutes. You took so long that we had to come check what's wrong. That's no good, He-chan.
She wags her finger at me scoldingly.
I found plywood, but everything else is still missing because of you, tardy. Because you are tardy, Ipsies.
You retardy.
Ah.
Oh, sorry. I got the things here. I was just gonna bring them.
I think you were up to some mischief, He-chan. Who was in there with you, I wonder?
Misha signed something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders, from suppressed rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sign furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin was sleeping on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness. Hello. Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eyeblings to realize she might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind me, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face. Hello.
Mr. Zuka, what do you think you're doing? You absolutely are not permitted to use school property for such disgraceful activity.
It sure is suddenly very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular. It's hard to say whether she's happy or not, or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune or Misha's scolding, so I have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs.
Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Anyway, how's your project going? Will it be done for the festival?
Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure Shizune's cold stare is putting on it. I keep wondering about that myself, too.
And
We'll think about it harder. As Misha
goddamn.
signs to reply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown.
Miss Shizuka, please try and take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it.
Rin nods assertively. We'll think more seriously. Misha
God.
actually giggles at that. Shizune doesn't, not even after translation. She shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo. How rude. It's true though, I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't. The end of the world as we know it. Like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire.
What?
Maybe I'll postpone my nap to unforeseen future. I'm
Wait,
about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art classroom. Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? This paint can doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it. She kicks lightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up and then tip my fedora and say, "Milady."
I naturally kick it away from her and knock her bag
I
away.
tie her legs up and leave her outside.
God, wow, she'd be so screwed.
Heavy. Yeah, sure. Where do you need to take it? Away. And with that, she takes off to the hallway, me and the paint can following, since there's little choice for either of us. Dude,
For me or the
paint
paint can.
cans have rights. The hallway is quiet and empty now with Shizune and Misha gone, so we too leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps I have to change the can from one hand to another, because the thin handle cuts into my palm. Don't they normally have those little plastic rings around them? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
big long plastic tubes, wouldn't that normally be there?
Well, it's probably old.
At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching. Maybe I'm walking weird because of the extra weight. This is important. Believe it or not, that's important. Pay attention to that. Hisao Nakai is now playing Fate Stay Night.
God damn it.
Good job, Hisao Nakai. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, but I can't figure out which. But yeah, remember that, the whole walking unevenly thing, because that's actually important somehow.
Eh?
2 flights of stair below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. And his theme song, which is the opposite of trouble. Ah, that's not his voice at all, Jesus Christ! Ah, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course. He nods courteously to Rin, but does not acknowledge him back, and then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with. There's something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nod and wait impassively.
Don't get knocked in the chest.
Don't get hit by legless people who run really fast, please. Because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either. It's about your medications. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects, which might require adjusting dosages or even changing to another kind of medication. So, we will do a few tests regularly, but what I want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. Nausea, headache, anything, and come see me if something happens.
Or anything else in your pants.
So, how are you? Everything fine? I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering. Apparently, this takes longer than my biceps can handle.
God damn it.
I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers and students here, my parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school.
Not so much as a nurse.
Except this school. This is a small school, and both the student base and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least, that's the feeling I'm getting. This is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway. That's great. Also,
Wait.
one other thing. My sources tell me you've been at neither the school track nor even the pool. So I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked. Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling I should have been running my ass off at the track since day one. You have people spying on me? Not as such. I just happen to know a few people. But that's not the issue here, so don't try to slip out of it. Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times, like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back like it's never gone. Tezuka, would you give us a second?
Oh God.
The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which she didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you're still in your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it'll be. It's the same with everything, like dieting. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Yeah,
Oh,
dude! Yeah, I promise, definitely.
really?
Study
Does it have
hard for a
anything to do
moment,
with anything?
shrugs, smiling again. No, I'm pretty sure not. As long as I choose to take it easy. Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy. It probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to gog a bit. Consultation? See you around. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who's been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off. Are you getting medications for your heart thingy? Were you listening? It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality, too. Talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Rin's fault, is it? I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin is just staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there's some inexplicable law that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, they're for my heart. Will they make you better? No, not
No,
really.
you will though,
They just make me a little
Huey.
less worse. Shut up! That's a serious line that is insight into, you know, it describes the situation this character's in. It's a serious moment, and you're just like, "Way."
I'm sorry.
Maximum scrub.
God.
Is that just the sound of Destiny in the background? I'm guessing. Lynn keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she now says anything further, nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave
So,
the main building and Rin leads us onward towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building.
stick person.
It's still there. The dome is built on a slightly elevated ground with a wall and a few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or go. It's probably the only inconvenient design in the school. The entire wall, made of the same kind of bricks as the building itself, has been covered with some sort of a painting. Most of it is still mere sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against the grey plastering that covers almost the entire length of the wall, but some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't quite say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seem to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside the wall. See, the left side is hardly off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. I have to work on it, but the guys from the art class are helping with the negative spaces and base surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's
Wait,
easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people.
and then it was
Hands.
morning?
Yeah? The reach is better, and it's faster too. She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm or whatever it that actually is to demonstrate, even though I got the point already. The white collar on her sleeve flaps around, and it makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student base's special properties has in the past few days.
So funny is imagining a little thing flapping.
Have you seen the dance party video?
Yes, I have.
That's always what I imagine, just back and forth.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The girl doesn't seem to notice my dreary feelings, of course. Oh, she will. Or the fact that she lost me a while ago. And just keeps on blabbering. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something that I need to figure out, and then figure it out before it's too late and all hope is lost. Why would the hope be lost? Because paint has to be painted and then it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time. She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of a statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So, this is your project. You did this. Yes. Yes. All of it. Yes. Nice. But
What's that stick man?
I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into the minefield of political incorrectness. It's okay, you can say it. I probably won't get mad.
It's
Gosh, really
awful.
hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels that I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward. Don't you want to ask? How do you paint without hands? See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet. I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do? You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now. I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. None of us has anything more to add to the subject. The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. Even to see what it looked like in dim light. Do you think it's flat? Well, paintings
Where
tend to be flat.
it flies your chest.
Oh,
Shrek.
burn! Not like that flat, flat. Like some people are. No substance, no meat where there should be some. Like blue.
Oh no. I don't know what
I know a few girls who, okay, I get it, but I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name any artists or artistic terms. So I don't really have anything to say. Shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, suit yourself. Without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there. I didn't think I'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamps like the one that they have at the sports track, but there aren't any. Rin sure is quick to get my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I can give any help, though. It's just mixing some paints. You can do that. Probably. Do you have motor control problems? Like, those people who have some? Cerebral palsy, maybe? Not that I know of. I get it. Hot thing has nothing to do with that. She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't. Let's do it then. I'm hype.
I
So she
can
sits on an empty
tell.
wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. Open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paints flow lazily from the can to the bowl, like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new, monotone hue. I'm still gonna keep stuttering and
Why
I'm hyped, man.
turn up the Huey?
Turn up the Huey. Set comfort level to 10.
Can I just say I typed something in chat with my feet while you were doing that? Or is this just a line from the song I'm listening to? I wanted to see if I could do it.
Rin sets to work, every now and then asking for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. I'm sorry.
I want key lime.
She
That's
wants precision, down to the last milliliter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best. Add half a splash of green. I crouch down and pick up the can of bright green. The other green, this green. I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl. No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good color to add? No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of a smile appears on the corners of her mouth. Do you lack an opinion? No, it's just I have no idea. It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white. With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter.
ableist.
That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in a dream, but can't remember it.
Oh,
Maybe it's yellow. Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Seeing a painting being born on a plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works on the details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, and steadily moving a foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I managed to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, none of us says a word for the longest time. And even those short discussions soon evolve into a shorthand, both of us developing and using weird, impromptu code words for various paints and ways.
Damn it. I'm just imagining Rin Huang being like, oh, I want this one.
As if there was some need to conserve words.
Is this why you love this route so much? Is because it says Quay?
No. Oh, look at that change.
I made it night. I used my powers to make it.
We stay there late into the evening till it becomes too dark to paint properly. And so day 3 ends. That's Rin. That's who we're going to be spending the rest of this game with, guys.
And a certain other spy a little bit.
Did you say other characters show up in Rin's map? You silly goose.
Really?
You silly goof. You
I thought
silly
she was
goof.
friends. I thought they were friends.
Keck.
Do they not?
Keck.
What? I thought they were friends.
Nobody's friends in this game.
No. Like, almost every other route is like, there's character and then their friend. I thought that those were like the two friends.
So, next time, we
What?
will do, I think this is Thursday now?
We'll address what?
Huh?
Is it just Rin is not her friend? Her friend show up?
Oh my